Hi guys, welcome to my channel, A Spark of Sam. I'm Sam, and my channel is about a little bit of everything that brings a spark into my life, and that includes books. So I saw this challenge on TikTok, and it's called 10 Before the End. And essentially, it's 10 books I'm hoping to read, fingers crossed, before the end of the year. So first off, we have none other than Iron Flame, the sequel to Fourth Wing. If you haven't heard about Fourth Wing or Iron Flame and you're just a tiny bit interested in fantasy, I highly recommend. It has action, it has romance, it has politics, it has dragons. I'm living in my fantasy era, my dragon era, and this series is stealing my heart. So I'm currently only halfway through Iron Flame. It did release this week, but I'm trying to savor it. I thought like, oh, I'll binge it, I'll have it done in a couple days. No, it's over 600 pages, a very small text, I want to point out. And I am listening to the audio because I get hung up on the pronunciation of things sometimes, and there is quite a bit of characters. Plus, there still is so much world building in this that don't rush it. You know, just savor it, enjoy it. Hopefully, people keep spoilers off the internet. I'm hoping because I really want to enjoy this. And if you didn't know, I actually co-host book club, a fantasy-based bi-monthly book club with my friend April from 'Tis So Sweet, and this is our book of the month that we have picked. This is a book club pick. How many words can I take to say that? But this is our pick. We will be discussing it on the first Saturday in December, so you have time. You don't have to binge it right away. If you haven't read Fourth Wing yet, you need to read Fourth Wing, just not only to get to this book, but I love it. It's my favorite. So like I said, I'm only halfway and this book is unhinged. I have so many feelings. I kind of wish I would have filmed myself reading it, but with how long it's taking me to read it, it would have been a lot of editing. But I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I have no idea where it's going. I can't wait to finish it, but I also want to savor every ounce of it. And I can't wait to discuss it. So if you plan on reading it, totally come to our discussion where there will be all the spoilers. And it'll be here on my YouTube the beginning of December. So check that out if you're interested. Yeah. Iron Flame. For number 2 on my list is for Patreon I'm a part of. I'm a patron on this Patreon for my friend Kendall from Bookphoria. Her Patreon is the Dreamy Dragon Den, which I'm living for. Like I said, obsessed with dragons right now. I mean, I always have been, but now even more so. And she picked for her book club pick is Fireborn, which, come on, the cover alone. I did get this cover because I really liked the full dragon. I loved the red. It really matches with the Fourth Wing holiday edition. If you haven't seen that, it just matches so well with my other books. But I am kind of bummed I got this color cover and not the other one, because as I was looking, the other books in the series are like the other cover. Okay, and a lot of you guys said that you wanted to hear a bit of the synopsis, and if I don't remember the synopsis, I'm going to just try reading a little bit from it, so bear with me or fast forward. It says, Annie and Lee were just children when a brutal revolution changed their world, giving everyone, even the lowborn, a chance to test into the governing class of dragon riders. Well, I'm sold. already sounds like Fourth Wing and Hunger Games mixed together. I'm sold. It says, now they are both rising stars in their new regime, despite backgrounds that couldn't be more different. Annie's lowborn family was executed by dragonfire, while Lee's aristocratic family was murdered by revolutionaries. Growing up in the same orphanage forged their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming the city. With war on the horizon and his relationship with Annie changing fast, Lee must choose to kill the only family he has left or to betray everything he has come to believe in. And Annie must decide whether to protect the boy she loves or step up to be the champion her city needs. From debut author Rosaria Munda comes a gripping adventure that calls into question what matters most, the family you were born into or the one you've chosen. I'm even more excited for this now. I also am going to get the audio from Libby to help me with pronunciations, to just kind of keep me more focused into this book. So I will be tandem reading, so-called, with the audio and this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it now. Number 3 is What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. And this is a book I started and did not finish, not because I didn't want to finish it, but because Iron Flame came out and I had to start reading Iron Flame first. But I'm hoping to finish it before the end of the year. I'm just under halfway. So essentially this book is about a girl who was born into a magical family that is very powerful and high up in society, but she was born without powers, and she's kind of, the black sheep of the family and in her world, which the world this book is set in very much gives me like Halloween Town vibes, in the fact that it's magical, yet could possibly be like non-magical things, and there's a gajillion different creatures. And I think that's the whole reason I'm taking a little bit longer to get through this, is because it's like a lot of world building, in the fact that there's just like a lot that you're like, what does that mean? How does that work? But I'm enjoying it. And because this girl was born without powers to this really high up family, it's kind of sus to the government, the magical government, and they are actually sending someone in to investigate. And this guy and the girl have had issues with each other in the past, and just, pretty much, enemies, nemesis, all of that. A quick blurb is, an unlucky witch and her know-it-all nemesis must team up in the first of a new spicy romantic comedy series. Oh, I didn't realize that there's going to be more. So it is a little spicy, and it's enemies to lovers, I'm assuming, gonna happen. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's not anything like over the top that I'm obsessed with yet, but I am really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to get done with it by the end of the year. But I am the person that will read magical thrillers, spooky, all the stuff year round. I wouldn't really say like this is spooky to me. It is definitely more like Halloween Town-ish with spice. So that's number 3. For number 4, I am hoping to get to A Court of Frost and Starlight, which this is just a novella from Sarah J. Maas, and it's a part of the ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I've heard that it's just, a little extra. Some people like it, some people don't. And the only reason I've put it off so far, even though I finished the 3rd book in the series a couple months ago, is because I heard that this is holiday fall-ish, wintry-ish. So even though I'm going to be reading still like a fall-ish book, I, if you can't tell, am fully ready for the holiday season. So this will be my number 4 pick. I don't want to talk too much about it because it might have spoilers. If you aren't familiar with the ACOTAR series, highly recommend this series. I'm obsessed, but yeah, I'm excited to read this since it's so controversial with people. So I'm really curious on how it goes. And on that note, number 5 is sticking with the ACOTAR series. I'm hoping to finish the series by reading A Court of Silver Flames. This book is huge. Once again, I do have the audio for it on Everend, so if I need help, I will. I actually haven't used any of the audios while I read any of the ACOTARs, so I probably won't, because I don't know, I could just hop into this world, and I already feel like I know the world now, so I'm hoping to fly through it pretty quick, because, yeah, it's over 700 pages. Y'all. And it's from not a different point of view. It's a different story altogether of a different character. I don't want to talk too much about it because it might have spoilers if you haven't read the ACOTAR series yet. Like with Fourth Wing, I highly recommend ACOTAR. ACOTAR is really what has given me such a passion for reading again, and I am so thankful, and it is immersed me into this fantasy world where I'm feeling it. I'm obsessed with everything, so I cannot wait. Some people love this character that this is written about. Some people don't like them. I think I'm gonna love it. I can tell you that. So hoping to get through that. Honestly, those ones I'll all for sure get through by the first of the year. Yeah. For number 6, I am definitely changing it up a lot. And this is technically a reread, but I only listened to the audio last time, and I highly recommend the audio. I got mine through Libby. There was no wait at all. But I wanted the book because there's a lot of stats and diagrams, and I think recipes even too, about this. So essentially what the little book of Huga is, it says the pronunciation on the cover, and I listened to the audio again to try to say it, but the little book of Huga is the Danish secrets to happy living. And I listened to this last year, like I said, and I really liked it. I live in Michigan, and the seasonal depression, it's real. It's real here. I know if it wasn't for crafting and books, it's really hard to enjoy the winter months here, mostly because there's just so much darkness. And you know, you can think about like, oh, I have to shovel the driveway from snow. I have to do all this kind of stuff. And I'm someone who's cold all the time. And after Christmas, the snow is just miserable. Or after the New Year, I really just like, the snow is miserable. The ice is miserable. Traveling around in it is miserable. The lack of light is miserable. However, this book is so helpful at finding the little things that actually are so magical during the dark months of the year. And it's how the Danish people celebrate how dark it is, and a lot of people actually look forward to it because of it. So I listened to it before, and now that we're in November, just had daylight savings, and all of our schedules are messed up, I'm ready to reread this, re-listen to it, and hopefully get my husband to read it too, or at least listen to it. because he's a beach boy, sunshine boy, surfer boy. He loves like the water and being out in the warm sunshine. So I think this would be great for us to like both enjoy. It talks about just so many things that help, but it talks about like why that's helpful and how to do it. And it's like lighting and foods, the type of foods, hanging out with people, aromatherapy, different stuff like that. So I found it really helpful. If that's something that you struggle with, I really recommend it. You don't have to get the book. You can listen to it first. Like I said, there's a lot of diagrams and just like cute little illustrations that I'm excited to see on there, and to listen and flip through, when I'm just struggling during this time of year. Okay, now for number 7. This is one that's been so hard to wait till the end of the year, but I'm a mood reader. Like I said, I pushed back A Court of Frost and Starlight because it's a wintry book, and I have heard so many great things about Lovelight Farms, and obviously based on the cover it's Christmassy, and I am all about the rom-coms during Christmas time. I mean, who's not? We all love our Hallmark movies. And this is a start of a series of like a little world where I actually heard that each book is a different season. So you start with this one, start in Christmas time, and then you'll make your way through the seasons. From my understanding, if I'm wrong, please, please, please comment and let me know, like I'm cray-cray and I don't know what I'm talking about. But it says, 2 best friends fake date to reach their holiday happily ever after in this first romantic comedy in the Lovelight series. And yeah, I'm not going to go all into it, but it talks about a Christmas tree farm and Instagram famous influencer. And, it's pretty typical. I have heard it's spicy. If that's something you like or don't like, just FYI. I'm so excited to get into this world and to read it. So this is one I will definitely make sure I get through before Christmas. For my 8th book, it's one that is short, and I want to use it to break up rom-coms because I'm the type of person, if I read too much of the same genre back to back to back, I don't enjoy it as much. So I really try to flip through between romance, thrillers, fantasy, self-help books, stuff like that to mix it up. But sometimes you can't. So if I don't get to this one, I'll live. But it's shorter and everyone has talked about how much they absolutely love it. So I'm hoping I can speed read through it. And that's The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I got it for Book of the Month, and I've heard so many amazing things about it. It is pretty short, like I said. It's under 300 pages. So I should be able to get to it to break up my rom-com. Okay, and number 9 is The Holiday Swap, which was my Book of the Month pick from last year for the holiday times, and I just didn't get to it. So I wanted to get to it this year. And it says, when Chef Charlie Goodwin gets hit on the head on the LA set of her reality baking show, she loses her critical ability to taste and smell. I feel like she has COVID. Sorry. Meanwhile, Charlie's identical twin, Cass, is frantically trying to hold her own life back together in their quaint mountain hometown while running the family's bakery and dealing with the breakup that just won't end. With only days until Christmas, a desperate Charlie and Cass do something they haven't done since they were kids: switch places. But when rugged firefighter Jake Greenman and gorgeous physician assistant Miguel Rodriguez are thrown into the mix, will the twins' identity swap be a recipe for disaster or for getting their lives back on track? Honestly, I don't think I even read the synopsis when I got this. I was like, I like the cover. I like the name. I'm the type of person that, like I said in previous videos, I don't necessarily like the synopsis because sometimes it ruins the plot for you. But it sounds cute. I like it. I'm here for it. Anything Hallmark craziness, I'm here for. So I'm excited to read this one before Christmas, if not by the end of the year. And for my 10th and final book I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year, which is going to be cutting it super close because it doesn't even come out until December 26th, is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is the sequel to Divine Rivals, and Divine Rivals was also a Tales of Starlight book pick for our club, and I have lots of questions. If you saw the discussion or you've heard me talk about Divine Rivals, I didn't personally love it as much as other people, but it's not that I didn't like it. I still really liked it. I have so many questions. I want things answered, and so that's one I really am excited to get to. So I have my answers, or hopefully, and I really don't know where the story is going next. And Divine Rivals was a really short book, so I'm hoping that Ruthless Vows is giving us a lot of info in, I think, another shorter book. I really like Rebecca Ross. I read A River Enchanted by her, which I loved, and I think that's why I didn't like Divine Rivals as much, because A River Enchanted to me was 5 stars. And I still have to read the sequel to that one, which is A Fire Endless. I already have A Fire Endless, which I could finish that before the end of the year, but I'm really worried there's going to be spoilers because so many people love Divine Rivals that Ruthless Vows is going to have spoilers. So that's one I'm going to try to read and just get through really, really quick, because I am excited for it. And that's hopefully how I'm going to close out the year. That's it, guys. That's my 10 by the end. Thank you so much for sitting with me through these. I cannot wait to see how far I get. I really have good feelings that I'm going to be able to get through all of these, but if you have words of encouragement, if you have tips and tricks, please leave them down below. If you plan on reading any of these, let me know too. I want to know, what are your 10 by the end, or are you like, no, that's not going to happen? They could be audiobooks, they could be graphic novels. What are your 10 that you're hoping to get to by the end of the year, or do you have a different goal? Is it higher than 10? Is it less than 10? Let me know, and give this video a thumbs up if you had fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know and subscribe to see what's coming up next. Bye, guys.